This week on Today, the latest from the baseball strike.
Also, true stories of the Kennedy women, and in honor of Woodstock, Joe Cocker. So join us this week
and see what a difference today makes.
The more you think about what getting an education gets you and what you miss getting hooked, the more you know that you really have no choice. And what do I mean by that? Well, you can do school or you can do drugs, but you really can't do both. Now, if you choose school, you get to go as far as your talents will take you. But if you choose drugs, you get to go nowhere and maybe get AIDS, get busted, even get killed in the bargain. So, you ask me, why didn't I say that in the first place? Why did I have to say it at all?
This advanced technology helps to diagnose arthritis. But to effectively relieve the minor pain of arthritis, use this, Advil. Advil contains the #1 doctor-prescribed ingredient in its class in non-prescription strength. Advil provides fast relief, and it works directly at the site of arthritis pain. And Advil is gentler on your stomach than aspirin. So for minor arthritis pain, trust Advil. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
We all know granola is great tasting, but there's another side to it. Fat. But Kellogg's low-fat granola has half the fat and all those big clumps of great taste. Kellogg's low-fat granola. For today's granola fans, great taste, half the fat.
Woodstock 94. The concert you've waited your whole life for. To fight gum disease, Colgate Precision has 3 sets of bristles. One like a flat brush for the surface, another like a rippled brush to reach between, and a third designed like nothing else to sweep plaque from the gum line. Fighting gum disease takes precision.
If your bacon cheeseburger isn't flame broiled, fire it.
Welcome to Burger King.
And get a new flame broiled
Bacon Mega Supreme?
The new Bacon Mega Supreme is a third pound of beef broiled over an open flame, and flame broiling beats frying 4-to-1. 2 patties smothered in hot, crispy bacon, melted cheese, lettuce, and tomato. So if it's fried, it ought to be fired. Get the new flame broiled Bacon Mega Supreme. More great taste for more great value. Only at Burger King.
NBC's Sunday Night Movie will return following these messages.
And now the Martin Short press conference continues.
Yes. Thank you. What's a tall drink of water like you doing with a name like Short?
That's good.
Any other questions?
Martin Short is coming to NBC Tuesdays this fall.
Coming up on News 3 at 11, a joyride in what police say was a stolen car leads to the fiery crash that injures a teenager. Local pilots mark the end of the line for an aging warbird, the A-4 Skyhawk. It's a marathon swim at the Jersey Shore as competitors battle the surf off of Atlantic City, and the Phillies throw away another one. All that and more at 11.
Coverage you can count on. Coming up at 11 on KYW News 3.
Dear foreign car owners, when it comes to fixing brakes, foreign cars aren't foreign to Midas. That's why we offer same-day brake service and guaranteed brake shoes and pads for as long as you own your car.
そして今あなたがお持ちの国産車外車を前出せお持ちいただくと
Get 25% off guaranteed brake shoes and pads. That's 25% off brake shoes and pads for any car at the Midas International Brake Sale.
Vilket bråk man än talar, detta är ett erbjudande värt att bromsa för.
Hey, we know you're busy and can't worry about the best time to buy a car, but here's a clue. The Eagle Summit Clearance is your Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can get into a sporty-looking two-door for $149 a month. That's right, just $149 a month gets you this cool-looking Eagle Summit DL. Or you could save on Eagle Summit wagons and Summit sedans. So take a time out and save yourself some cash at the Eagle Summit Clearance. It could be the best time to buy. Hey, we'll see you.
Take a test flight in an Eagle at a Key State Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
One thing you have to remember when you're dealing with people is that they're all different. So I better have different kinds of chicken, and I better have different kinds of fixings to go for different kinds of chicken. If you give someone a good meal at a fair price, they'll come back to you.
Introducing the Chicken Choice Deal. For $9.99, you can enjoy 12 pieces of original recipe or extra tasty crispy or 1.5 Colonel's Rotisserie Gold chickens. That's lots of chicken for just $9.99. The Chicken Choice Deal. One choice everyone can agree on. Have you heard the news? Magic 102.9 has changed. The new Magic 102.9 plays all the greatest hits of the 70s all the time. Turn it on.
Well, I've been a coach for 18 years, and it hasn't been till the last 5 years that we've had players come to our school with asthmatic conditions. An athlete suffers because of lack of clean air. Our team has to be everybody in this state. Everybody has to pursue perfection and support every action that's going to be done to give us cleaner air here in Pennsylvania. This is our national championship.
Mr. and Mrs. Michael Jackson honeymoon in Hungary on hard copy.
So, Dave, how was San Francisco?
It was great. Did you drive across the Golden Gate Bridge?
No. Did you see Alcatraz?
Is that there?
Well, what did you do?
I found this sourdough roll.
Introducing Wendy's Sourdough Bacon Cheeseburger. It's a San Francisco-style roll stuffed with a quarter pound of fresh beef, Monterey Jack, bacon, and Dijon sauce.
Reminds me of when I was in San Francisco. I met this sailor.
Hey, look at the time. Gotta go.
Yes, well, we only went to the library.
You can find it in San Francisco and at any Wendy's.
Wherever you are this summer could be a very cool place with Miller's 10 grand a day giveaway. We've got a lot to unload. That's $10,000 a day every day. Look for numbers inside specially marked cases of Miller beer. Match and win daily in USA Today and Sports Illustrated. A lot of cash, a lot of winners. Can your beer do this? Just one taste of Honey Bunches of Oats cereal and you'll love it instantly.
Honey Bunches of Oats? You're not going to convince me. I'm convinced. Like I was saying, this is special.
Starting with those toasty flakes of corn and wheat.
What makes you think this is the one? This is the one. This is great.
Combined with those honey-kissed oat clusters in every mouth-watering bite.
If you really want me to try it, I'll try it, but no promises, okay?
Whoa.
Post Honey Bunches of Oats. One taste is all it takes.
Whoa.
It's been a benchmark of quality in America for over 25 years, but it isn't reserved for the privileged few. It has air conditioning, power windows and door locks, AM/FM cassette with 4 speakers, and much more. But it isn't an expensive luxury car. It's the Toyota Corolla Silver Anniversary Extra Value Package with savings of up to $700. The Toyota Corolla. You can't buy a more impressive car for less.
Tough day, huh, kiddo?
We're doing fractions in math. And Gracie Gibson kissed me on the playground in front of everybody.
Ah, sounds like you need a bedtime story.
Mom.
Car chases?
Cool.
When your day needs a little turnaround, Blockbuster has 9,000 ways to make it a Blockbuster night.
How about another story?
Yeah, I got one. With boys kissing girls.
You've made many friends on Thursday night. Now meet Ross.
You know, you probably didn't know this, but back in high school, I had a major crush on you.
I knew.
I always figured you just thought I was Monica's geeky older brother.
I did.
Oh. Do you think it would be okay if I asked you out sometime, maybe?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe I will.
Friends, Thursdays this fall on NBC.
The doctor said you have leukemia.
Could you risk the life of one child to save another?
Cassie's best chance might be a transplant.
You could help your sister. Parents faced with an impossible choice.
They could both die.
One family's inspiring story of courage.
Just gonna have to hold on to each other.
Joanna Kern's Desperate Choices, NBC Monday.
Coming up at 11, an offer of millions for victims of a terrorist bombing brings a quick reaction, and the Expos power their way to a sweep of the Phillies.
Coverage you can count on, coming up next on KYW News 3.
Welcome, everyone. I hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday. I hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's feeling okay. I hope everybody who was sick, like myself, got over it. And your lingering cough is subsiding. And your tea, your green tea is hot. Mine won't stay that way for long, but yeah, crazy stuff going on today. I know there's a lot of other channels live, and I have very reliable updates, just enough that law enforcement will let us know so far until the press conference that will be held, I believe, at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which if you're on my side of the country in the Eastern time zone, that is 4 p.m. I'm not sure if I'll go over that or not, but I just want to apologize, guys, because I don't know who that person is in my chat. Only I know where the real Cherry is. That's an imposter. I don't know how they got a wrench. I don't have any idea. And frankly, I'm scared. I don't know what they're capable of. How'd they get a wrench? What's going on? I don't. Oh, yeah. So you know the UK time, right? So that automatically makes you a limey, right? Limey Cherry. Is that true? Really? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. But anyway, nothing I could do about it. Anyway. So yeah, so good news today, man. Good news. As there seems to be a major development in the Idaho murders of those 4 students. And with some collective help from this Cherry and other channels that have great research teams that are very generous in letting me sharing the information that they come up with. So that's very kind of them to do. And so I've got kind of a wave of stuff that has come in, and I will deliver this to you guys as much as I possibly can. And then we could just kind of discuss it a little bit, try to speculate on these things responsibly, as we like to do. Because what we've got, okay, so apparently we got this dude, and maybe I'll start off with his mugshot here. Yeah, we got this here dude. Okay, now there's a lot of rumors flying around about this guy, but this is 99.9% definitely the dude that is in custody waiting to be extradited back to Idaho. I believe he's arrested in Pennsylvania, I think. Sorry, this is all coming in new to me. And here he is right here. And so whoever this dude is, he looks cold-blooded as hell. Because you could tell that they got him in the little turtle shell. See there? They got him in the little turtle shell right there. They usually give that to people who they don't want to commit suicide. That's a suicide watch thing. Because all it is basically, it's like a like a catcher's, a two-sided catcher's pad, and like that's it. There's no strings tying it. It just hangs there, and it's only designed really to cover your privates. That's what it's for, so that you don't try to hang yourself or strangle yourself or anything like that, or try to stab yourself with the button of your jeans, whatever the hell people do. Um, and we've got some info on this dude. So apparently in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania, this man, he's 25 years old. His name is Brian Koberger. And he has been arrested in connection with the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students that law enforcement leaks have told ABC News. Apparently, a SWAT team entered the location Koberger was staying in and took him into custody, sources say. So I find that very, very interesting. Now, this is something that I also find very interesting about this dude. I wish I could. There we go. So this is apparently, the rumor is that this guy, I'm not sure if it's the same guy, but this Brian Koberger, I don't think there's a lot of dudes by that name that spell their name that same way, because he spells Brian with a Y. So I'd say that this is probably legit. And this is it looks like a treatment or like a memo that he wrote or something to that effect. Research participation, or just an ad looking for, I guess, people to help him. My name is Brian, and I'm inviting you to participate in a research project that seeks to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision making when committing a crime. In particular, this study seeks to understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense, with an emphasis on your thoughts and feelings throughout your experience. In the event that your most recent offense was not one that led to a conviction, you may still participate. Additional surveys are included after the open-ended section as to best understand your unique traits. The study should take about 15 to 20 minutes to fully complete. So this guy, what in the hell is he doing? Like, is he doing research on how to get away with murder? Like, is his method here to... I mean, again, we're just speculating here and assuming that he's guilty. We are just speculating, but assuming that he's guilty, it would make sense that here he is focused on criminology, and then he just goes and he murders 4 people, and apparently it's in a very brutal way. And there doesn't seem to be any connection to them on a personal level. Doesn't seem to know them like as far as being family or friends or anything of that nature. We don't know the history yet. That remains to be seen. But this is interesting to me. So I want to look at this again. He's saying, he wants to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. In particular, this study seeks to understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense, with an emphasis on your thoughts and feelings throughout your experience. Like, what were you feeling? Now, that's also an interesting thing. Is he just using this to try to to get off? Is this like a role-playing fantasy for a guy like this? Because I find that really, really interesting. I mean, if we're speculating here and we're assuming that the guy's guilty, let's just, explore whether or not he's guilty or not. Let's just explore thinking that he is right now. It has not been determined yet. We don't even know what he's going to be charged with yet because he has not been charged. So just want to be very clear about that. But I find this interesting because what he's wanting people to do, he's wanting to have a study and have criminals come in and describe the crime and describe what they were feeling and thinking when they made the decision to commit the crime and how they felt about it after the fact and during the fact. Like, it could be fair to speculate that this guy was getting off on this in some way, shape, or form. Always fantasizing about the power of being able to commit a crime, a horrible crime, and get away with it. And maybe he's also, like I said earlier, maybe using the information that he gets from here to learn from their mistakes, because all these people were caught. All the people that come in for this study were caught. Maybe he wants to learn from their mistakes and how to avoid the feelings and thoughts and the emotions that would cause them to make bad decisions. Because he's not just talking about the decision making of committing the crime. He's talking about the decision making involved in the crime. See what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, that's very interesting to me. I'm wondering if this guy was just using they tell you to do what you love, right? Maybe his interest in criminology was so obsessive that he wanted to know everything about it because he was obsessed with being a criminal who could not be caught. Let's be honest. They took a long time to catch him, didn't they? Not a real long time. It's not like they took him years, but we're looking at a very tight-knit community, and committing this crime, getting in and out of this place in such a short period of time. He had to know where they were. The police honestly believe that this was personal because this person had to know their ins and outs. He had to know where they were, when they were going to be home. You know what I mean? Like, and he's in Pennsylvania. That's where they catch him. So he's far from the crime scene. So in theory, he did everything right. In theory, except for if they caught him with the car. I don't know if that's the case. We still have yet to find out. But if it was the car and they caught him in the car, then okay. Then he didn't think about cameras. And he studied in Washington. That's interesting. So, like I said, we're just speculating on why a guy like this would commit such a crime with the little that we know. That's all we're doing here, folks. I could be way off. Could be a cousin of a brother that one of them pissed off. Who knows? Now, earlier, before this information came in, there was a lot of rotation of these two guys that were arrested, rumored for car theft, and people were saying, oh, it's the Elantra. And then at the same time, somebody got arrested in connection to the Idaho killings. And turns out that these two guys had jack shit to do with it. Just a coincidence. And then their Facebooks got blasted, and some idiots even went live and blasted them. We'll be getting into that another time. Yeah, don't think I didn't catch that. But we'll be getting into that another time because that's kind of what we do here. But was that Justice? Thank you so much. Happy Friday, Will. I can't believe that Ellie solved it without any help from BHP. It's almost like they have training. I know. It's crazy. It's almost as if, they, went to a school almost as good as DeVry University and learned how to catch criminals. Crazy. Learned how to solve murders. I mean, you can't just run with that. Like, I had information coming in, and I'm really grateful for that information coming in. But, this person that was sending it to me has enough common sense to go, not confirmed, but this is who people are talking about right now. I'm waiting on more information. I'll let you know. That's easy. It's so easy. Like, if you're not good at getting the information yourself, which I'm not, I'm just grateful to have good people who like my channel and want, to keep me informed as quickly as possible, and as accurately as possible. And I'm just grateful for that. It's nice. I don't pretend to be a researcher, but what you do is when people offer to help who are reliable and who are intelligent, and then they send you information, those people will also, as they pass the information along, will give that disclaimer, hey, this hasn't been confirmed yet. As soon as I know for sure, I'll let you know. And then it was just like peeling an onion. The text messages came in, and it was just the onion was getting peeled. And that's all it was. And you don't get the onion and go, that's it. Like, it's crazy. So let me take a look here, see what else we got here. And this, now I don't know how to read these things too well, but I have a backup plan. This is basically, I'll just show it because I don't really know how to read it. But this basically seems like his arraignment docket. Yeah, it's the court of Monroe County. I'm guessing hold on. It's got the judge assigned, blah, blah, blah. But the charges don't say anything here. The charges don't say anything. And there's no bail. He's being, like we said, he's being extradited to Idaho. But something now we're gonna know a little bit more once this press conference happens. Oh, you're hilarious, Remy. That's funny. That's cute. Mm-hmm. I should say I don't know how to explain what it says, okay? Because I'm not privy to the law. All right. But now our friend who is in this chat from time to time, who I'm really grateful for, she is an attorney, and she posted this on Twitter. Okay. Mystery Maven Esquire posted this on Twitter. Brian Kohlberger was arrested in Pennsylvania this morning pursuant to court records. He was arrested prior to requisition. Pursuant to the Pennsylvania statute below granting extradition, he will be extradited to Idaho, where still unknown charges will be filed. And here she has something here that she watermarked. but this is an explanation of an arrest prior to requisition. And I will try to, I hope I understand this, but I'll read it anyway. I'm sure a lot of you will understand it better than I will. So what it says here is whenever any person within this commonwealth shall be charged on the oath of any credible person before any judge or issuing authority of this commonwealth with the commission of any crime in any other state, and except in cases arising under section 9127 relating to extradition of persons not present in demanding state at time of commission of crimes, with having fled from justice or with having been convicted of a crime in that state and having escaped from confinement or having broken the terms of his bail, probation, or parole, or whenever complaint shall have been made before any judge or issuing authority in this commonwealth, setting forth on the affidavit. It's like a big run-on sentence, folks. The affidavit of any credible person in another state that a crime has been committed in such other state, and that the accused has been charged in such. This is the longest run-on sentence ever. In such other state, and that the accused has been charged in such state with the commission of the crime, and except in cases arising under section 9127 has fled from justice or with having been convicted of a crime in that state and having escaped from confinement or having broken the terms of his bail, probation, or parole, and is believed to be in this commonwealth, the judge or issuing authority shall issue a warrant directed to any peace officer, commanding him to apprehend the person named therein, wherever he may be found in this commonwealth, and to bring him before the same or any other judge or issuing authority who or which may be available or convenient of access to the place where the arrest may be made, to answer the charge or complaint and affidavit, and a certified copy of the sworn charge. And that's all it says. Now, okay. I don't know. Give me 1 second. I don't know. But I think that basically said that the law in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania states that if some asshole committed some horrible crime or petty crime, whatever, then a judge from whatever state or commonwealth that is, that the crime was committed, and then they end up going to that state, that commonwealth, then the other state can have them. Take them. That's it. Yeah, we're not going to try him here. We're not, nope. He fucked up over there. You can have him. Basically, is what I took that to mean. That's the law in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So yeah. So yeah. They don't want him. Idaho can have him. Idaho deserves the justice. They're going to make sure that Idaho gets that justice. Why are you going there? He's being held at Monroe County Prison now. I'm heading there now. Why are you going to the prison? That's really weird. Don't do that. I don't recommend that. Right. So basically, what I think happened, what it sounds like that's explaining is that through their investigation, the breadcrumbs that they followed in their investigation led them to that guy in Pennsylvania, and they were able to work side by side with law enforcement there in Pennsylvania and and get them to execute a warrant and SWAT team his house, pull him out, stick him in jail, and then they're going to ship his ass back to Idaho to face the music for his crimes in Idaho. That's what it sounds like to me. Judge over in Idaho was like, yo, judge in Pennsylvania, I'm going to need you to pick this guy up. Send him back to me. Hey, Panda Lady. Let's see. Oh, okay. Now they're searching his house. Thank you, Annie, for that. So, let me just do this. All right. Right. And there's that. This John Webb person, I'm assuming, is a journalist. It looks like a Facebook post. Authorities are searching what's believed to be Koberger's apartment in Pullum. These are the Steptoe Village apartments on the WSU campus. Oh, okay. So, all right. So he lives in Washington. Okay. So he lives in Washington, but they picked him up in Pennsylvania. And isn't DC like right there? All right, let's see. Annie says, I believe he has an apartment in Washington, which is where he lives and is 14 minutes from the house. Grew up in Pennsylvania, probably fled there to hide. Yeah, it's not too far from there. It would make sense. So was he hiding out at his mom's house? I wonder how much they knew. That's weird. Well, yeah, I mean, if he was studying in Washington State, and wasn't he teaching there? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Was he teaching there? Because it would make sense if he's a professor, he would live on the campus or right near it. It would make perfect sense. And of course, if he's a student, of course that too. But he's okay. So he does not have his PhD in criminology. He's working on his PhD in criminology. Yeah, I mean, 25 seems a little young to already have it, I would think. All right. Let me see if there's any all right. All right, guys. I found a news clip that I'm going to play here. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see what ABC News is telling us. And this is very new, so.
Investigation into that vicious stabbing murders of those 4 college students in Idaho. Police now bringing in a special cleaning crew to the crime scene as we're seeing new body cam video of one of the victims talking to police just weeks before the killings. Kana Whitworth is back there in Idaho with the new details. Kana, good morning to you. Police just this week pleading with the public for more help.
That's exactly right, Janae. Authorities saying that they're actually receiving new tips this week from across the nation. This as new video has surfaced of police officers responding to a noise complaint at that popular off-campus home that this morning is still a crime scene. This morning, new video surfacing of one of the Idaho murder victims as police track down new leads in the killings.
Hello, miss. What's your name?
Xana. The video, first obtained by the website Truth and Transparency, showing Xana Coronado opening the door of the King Street home as officers approach.
You can hear you from clear down the road when we were coming up here. We can hear the music, and that's.
I'm so sorry. The video from officer-worn body cameras over Labor Day weekend at nearly 1 in the morning. Officers saying it's the second time they've been to the residence that night.
Any outside music, any loud yelling needs to be done.
Okay.
Because we're not. Next time you're getting a ticket.
Okay. Police telling us this was a common occurrence in the normally bustling college town.
Calls do your officers normally respond to?
A lot of noise complaints.
Neighbors are being kept up.
Now, 7 weeks after Xana, her boyfriend Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Madison Mogan were found brutally stabbed to death, the home is still an active crime scene.
So are they trying to imply that the calls to the house had something to do with that? Because if they're just noise complaints, they're noise complaints. These are 20-year-old kids. You know what I mean? Like, I had noise complaints in my first apartment all the time. I didn't even go to college. I didn't even live near a college. But there were 3 of us. It was our first apartment. We had cops coming to the house telling us to keep it down all the time.
Today, authorities say biohazard teams will begin the initial cleanup process of the 6-bedroom popular off-campus home. For more than 2 months, the murders have rocked this community. And while questions swirl, the victims honored now by their loved ones. A celebration of life planned tonight for lifelong best friends Kaylee and Maddie. But as Kaylee's father told GMA last month, this fight is far from over.
I'll fight for her, and I will help all these family members find some way to keep this story going.
Now, these families were given their children's belongings before those biohazard teams start their cleanup today. Once they are done, they will return the property to the management company. But Janae, as of now, they have no timeline for that.
All right, Kana, we know you'll be following the latest there. Thank you so much. Now let's bring in ABC News contributor and former FBI agent Brad Garrett. Brad, it is so great to have you here in studio with us. Sending in a cleaning crew means that police are pretty much done with evidence at the crime scene. What does that suggest to you about where this investigation stands?
So every crime scene, of course, ends, and you have to clean it up. So this one's a bit complex just because of the nature of 4 people, how they were killed. So it's going to take them a while to clean up. But just collecting the forensic evidence would have taken a while in that house. And then
I was wondering about that. I was wondering, and I'm probably wrong, but wow. Sorry, Annie's still sending me a lot of really interesting. This shit is crazy that she just sent me. I'm gonna get to that after this news clipping here. But I was wondering when I found out that they were cleaning the house, that led me to think, well, okay, I mean, I guess they collected all the evidence from there that they needed, but if the case is still open, wouldn't they want to go back if they had to or something? So I was wondering, I was like, but I wasn't I'm the last one that's going to be like, and jump to the conclusion that they got an arrest, but I was wondering, I was thinking, did they get an arrest? Is that why they're going in there? Is this coming to a close to clean up the house? Yeah. Yeah, Annie, it looks like she's agreeing with me here. She's saying that he was definitely targeting felons for intel. And it's so weird. Right. That's what I think was what he was doing, man. That's my working theory right now. That's my working theory right now is that he was doing homework. Like, he was insane. This is crazy. That's the most diabolical shit I've ever heard. Somebody who goes to school to get a PhD in criminology to learn how to get away with murder. That's insane, dude. I've never even heard of that.
I have spent at crime scenes like this days walking.
Okay, hold please. Annie just texted me, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So whenever Annie texts me, OMG, 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 it's something. Okay, another post. Let me keep playing this and then
Walking through trying to figure out exactly what happened, maybe even trying to reenact. So they probably have done that, but it's just time to move on. I wouldn't take it that there's any additional steps found in this case or new information found, but it's time.
So speaking of the crime scene, the murders happened back on November 13th, but
Oh,
police
I
say they're still
remember
awaiting
this.
some crime lab results. Is that unusual?
No, because if you think, Whit, about how much, I don't want to get graphic here, but how much stuff you would have to process. And if the bad guy moved around, and let's say he had blood on his shoes, all of that stuff would have to be picked up, processed. That's a lot of DNA to look for and other genetic materials. So not uncommon for it to take weeks.
Brad, police say that, they want the public to help them. They want information from the public, but they also say they've received thousands of new tips. What does that tell you?
Well, it's actually quite common. If you go back to Chandra Levy and the DC sniper case that I worked on, we got so many tips, we had to create phone banks. Now, the problem is a vast majority of them, Gio, are not worth much. Well-intentioned people, but they want to tell you the theory of the case. And so sorting out sort of what is real, what is not, or pieces of information real takes some time. So it's the nature of the beast when it comes to high-profile cases.
Difficult case. Still so many questions remain. That community going through a lot. Brad Garrett, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
There'll be a lot of lessons learned in terms of what.
All right. Now, check this out, folks. You guys remember this? This came up and this was blown off because it was on Reddit and everybody was like, "Oh, well, that's just some troll on Reddit just being an idiot." I blew it off as that, and there's no reason not to blow it off as that. There's no reason to look at this like it was anything but a troll, right? But check this out. So this post, anonymous in Reddit, says, "I hung their intestines from a ceiling fan and shoved my knife up blank. I'm hiding in the woods in shithole Pennsylvania. Good luck catching me." I mean, of all the states, could be a coincidence, but of all the states that this asshole here, in this post says anything, he names the state that he's caught in. Now, I looked at this and I blew it off. I was like, idiot trolls making things worse. But why Pennsylvania? Yeah, it's an anonymous post on Reddit. Yeah, and look at the date, on the 12th of December, right? So it was still pretty fresh, Right. Well, let's play with my working theory here for a second. Well, we're not going to know everything that the cops know. Heels in the air. They're not going to tell us that. Like, we don't know how many times. Oh, 4chan, not Reddit. Okay, so 4chan. Thank you, Annie. So yeah, Heels. We're not. We don't know how many times somebody was stabbed. The only thing that I find weird about this is because they did say that there was no sexual assault, but this blurred out word here indicates that there was, according to this post. So I don't know. You know what I mean? This again, this could be bullshit, but the Pennsylvania thing is what is creepy about it. And yeah, and 4chan and Reddit, I don't pay attention to any of that shit. I blow everything off that I see there. Like the only way, if there was like the only way that I would ever invest anything that I would get from that I would invest anything of mine that in what I get off of Reddit or 4chan or anything like that, is if there was a Men in Black if there was a Men in Black division for true crime, for crime cases, because those guys, they looked at the Inquirer and the Globe and all the tabloids to get information. They said that was the best way to get information to catch aliens. So if there was a Men in Black division for true crime, then I would invest more into that. But I'm just not. The only thing really about this is that it's Pennsylvania. But let's, for the sake of just humoring this as being real, okay? How creepy is it that if this guy was studying sociology or criminology, if he was studying criminology and doing that just so he could train himself to get away with murder, right? If he was doing that for that purpose, right? Wouldn't it make sense that somebody would be that cocky to... Now, I mean, there's two sides to that coin, because somebody who is doing everything they can to master getting away with murder, well, they're not going to brag and they're not going to get cocky unless they admire killers like the Zodiac killer who would leave clues and ciphers and things of that nature. Maybe, but I mean, I'm always like, why are these criminals so stupid sometimes? Because couldn't that post somehow be traced back? Maybe this is how they caught him, I mean, but I don't really know how the internet works. I don't know if they can, if they can narrow down an IP address from the post and then track him that way. I'd like to think that they could, but we're all going to know. We're all going to know once this press conference takes place. But a lot of it just adds up, man. A lot of it just adds up. But yeah, I mean, there's only one thing about this that would make any of us really think that this is actually the killer, and that would be that it says that he's in Pennsylvania, and that the suspect was apprehended in Pennsylvania. So I love this. I have words about that, but I'm going to keep that for another time. I'll keep that for another time. But yeah, you guys know I have opinions on that. It's unbelievable. Let's do this, folks. Let's do this. Because right now, I'm kind of torn. So I'm going to do something here real quick. Sorry, I'm just looking at chat real quick. Yeah, so I put up Cherry's second favorite up there for you guys to vote on. Did you see what I did there, Professor? Did you get that one, Professor? Sorry, I'm still getting info here, guys. Yeah. Yeah, Annie's saying that if that post is legit, it would explain why they said targeted. And I think that I catch what she's saying here. Because obviously, I mean, it sounds very personal. The way that he describes what he did to Kaylee and Kaylee's, parts being hung in the woods or something. Or no, he didn't say that. He said he was hiding in the woods. Sorry about that. But the way that he described what he did to Kylie, which contradicts what law enforcement has told us, but what he's saying that he did to Kylie, it sounds very personal. I mean, no, because I mean, I don't want to sound like, because this looks, I mean, it looks like a 4-letter word, and it's scribbled out here, so you can't see it. And the word up kind of describes and implies the motion and where he's talking about, which is very, very disgusting. Yeah, sorry. Everybody names their kids Kaylee, Kylie, everything today. Give me a break, okay? It's an innocent mistake. But it seems to me like that's what I'm thinking too. That's what I'm thinking too, Annie. And I wonder if somebody's going to ask about this at the press conference. That would be interesting. But that's a very, very, very descriptive post. But yeah, what Annie's basically saying, I think, is it sounds extremely personal, and it would pretty much, it would kind of, I guess, indicate to people or to law enforcement in theory that they were targeted, or at least Kaylee was. That's what I'm saying. Heels in the air. I that's why I'm saying it contradicts with what law enforcement let us know. But it's quite possible that they lied to the public, and honestly, I don't blame them. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't want to alarm anybody any more than they have to. Maybe they didn't feel that it was the public's business as to that happening. So I can't say that I disagree with them. That's not necessary information for any of us to have. You know what I mean? It's just not necessary information for any of us to have. So I don't blame law enforcement for keeping that close to the chest. I have no problem. I'm one of those few people that I have no problem whatsoever with law enforcement lying to me about these cases as a public citizen. I just don't care. I say this all the time. I could totally wait. Whatever they need to do to solve the thing, do it, as long as they're not violating anybody's rights. And they're not violating your rights by not telling you that, because you are not entitled to that information. Period. You're not. Nah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Like, this isn't a Scream movie. This isn't a Scream movie. They're not going to be like, this person is out there disemboweling victims. That's the kind of information that gets to the public through a police leak. Like they don't stand up there in a press conference and go, there's a killer on the loose, and he disembowels victims and hangs their shit from ceiling fans. And they're not going to do that. That would cause an unnecessary panic. They're not, it's disrespectful to the families to put that information out there. That's, no way. You don't have a right to know that. We're not going to get all the information until, the press conference, and we probably still won't get all the information. Bet you anything that a lot of what they're going to say, they're going to tell you a whole lot of, it's still an ongoing investigation. Can't answer that right now. Still an ongoing investigation. Can't answer that right now. Still an ongoing investigation. As I just said, Can't answer that. Still an ongoing investigation. Still an ongoing investigation. Yes. That's how it's going to look the whole time. You know, they're basically going to make their statement and then answer almost nothing. Like, understand that what they tell you in their prepared statement in a press conference is 99.9% of what they're prepared to share with the public. That's it. Once they open questions, it's like, no, not at liberty to discuss that yet. Sorry. And I'm all for them doing that. I don't need to know. You know what I mean? Like, we'll all find out. All of this will be public once a trial starts, or if because if this guy is even remotely the kind of guy that I think he is, he's definitely going to try to. He's probably got money for a good lawyer, and he's going to try to fight it. He's going to try to beat it, and he's going to go to trial. I don't see this guy pleading guilty. I don't see a guy that egotistical and that smart pleading guilty to this crime. And I hope he does, but wow, this is a close vote. Okay, so most of you guys, 57% of you guys think that this post is the actual killer, and it's legit. And that doesn't surprise me, man, because people, that's the thing, man. I'm telling you, people want that to be like the more this sounds like a horror movie, you know, people just want this to sound like a horror movie. But the thing is at the same time, a lot of you voted yes just because the Pennsylvania thing it's pretty overwhelming, you know. The Pennsylvania thing is pretty overwhelming, just that aspect of it. But these kind of details and everything, but like I said, it's quite possible. It is quite possible that this is what led them to him being stupid enough to post something on a public forum. Let me try this. So yeah, this dude is because I think if this guy is guilty, if he's the killer, oh man, I forgot to share this with you guys. Give me 1 second. I forgot to share this with you guys. Annie texted me, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I have to do this individually. I'm sorry. Yeah, you guys are like, what the fuck are you doing right now? Now I have to do this. God, this is going to take forever. I hate doing things like this. This is crazy. So what I have here, folks, is something that I did not expect to get. But this is very, very, very disturbing. All right. So remember the study that he put out, this ad? Remember the study that this alleged piece of shit put out the ad for? I have the study. So remember, so for those of you just joining, this guy apparently is studying to get his PhD in criminology, and he put out this ad asking for people who recently have been arrested to describe what their feelings were, and what their thought process was in their decision making in committing the crime, whether from deciding to actually commit the crime and what were your feelings and what were you thinking, to you know, how you were going to get away with it, you know, just every aspect of the crime. And he just wanted descriptions of all this. And it seems as though he was doing it, at least my working theory is that he was doing this to train himself on how to get away with murder, basically teaching himself what not to do. And also seems like he's just getting off possibly from this stuff, you know, just excited and trying to become this person who is untouchable. And so here is the first question. How do you accomplish your goal? Please explain what you were thinking and feeling. Okay. Notice how he asked that question. Notice you can actually see the motive behind what he's trying to use this for in that question alone. How did you accomplish your goal? Because obviously they didn't accomplish their goal because they got caught. Because he only wanted to hear from people who got caught. So here he is saying, how did you accomplish your goal? Please explain what you were thinking and feeling. What do you mean accomplish your goal? Like, what? What was the first move you made in order to accomplish your goal? Please detail any thoughts and feelings at this point. Like, that is so bizarre. How did you leave the scene? Before making your move, how did you approach the victim or target? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling. That's, wow, this is crazy. After committing the crime, what were you thinking and feeling? See, that's what I'm thinking is like the almost like the porn part for him. You know what I mean? But really, it sounds like the only legit question in trying to understand somebody and their thought process of being a criminal. You know what I mean? But when you look at the other questions, it makes the motive behind asking this question sinister. It makes it seem sinister anyway. Sorry. After arriving, what steps did you take prior to locating the victim or target? Please detail your thoughts and feelings, i.e., person or object. And he's being careful. What he's doing right here is he's pulling a Jared. He's pulling a Jared. He's like, I'm not exactly asking. I'm not talking about a person victim. or necessarily a victim, a target too. Either one. You know what I mean? Like, it's just way too general. Because there's I never specified a victim. I mean, because this all looks like he's trying to plan out exactly what he did until he got caught. I just got a really nice PayPal. Thank you guys. I don't want to read the name. Let me see if there's a handle and they can thank them. Well, they use their work, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the PayPal. So you look at this and you look at these questions, and you could easily look at this as he's asking the questions that are vital to getting away with the Idaho killings, right? It really seems like that. But then again, that could be applied to almost any crime. Like in a court of law, a defense could just throw this out. This wouldn't, I mean, it might sway a jury, but all a defense attorney would have to do, in theory, I would think, is just say, well, I mean, this applies to any crime. Why does this have to apply to the tragedy in Idaho? But they seem like pretty weird, specific questions. That they all seem to have this common denominator root vibe and feeling of how are you trying to get away with it? Not, hey, what were you thinking? Why did you do what you did? Did you, was there something emotional that triggered you to make the decision that you made in committing your crime? But he's being a little too specific in the way that he words these questions, in the sense that he's saying, well, how did you get away with it? Or what did you do to try to get away with it? That seems to be the entire vibe of what of all of these questions. How did you travel to and enter the location? What? Oh my God. Did they get weirder and weirder? How did you travel to and enter the location and that the crime occurred? What does that have anything to do with really understanding a general criminal? If you're a criminologist, now I understand if you're like, I'm trying to study how one would think they're going to get away with murder. I'm trying to study how one would think they're going to get away with murder. That makes sense. But that's not what he's doing here. He's saying crime, just any crime, stealing. That's how he's trying to word it here to cover his tracks. But this all implies that he's trying to get away with something really fucked up. Like, what if the crime was embezzlement? What am I supposed to write? Okay, how did you travel to and enter the location that the crime occurred? Well, I I was already there. I'm there every day. I mean, I guess that's a legit answer, but no, there's not enough questions for that. I got another PayPal, but I don't know. I don't like to say names in here unless they are your handle. And I don't see that name in here, but thank you for that PayPal. I appreciate it. I just don't like to dox people and say their real names. But this is, yeah, how did you travel to and enter the location of the crime occurred? You wouldn't have to necessarily travel to every crime, you know? Like, or I didn't travel at all. I mean, I guess that's a legit answer. I didn't travel at all. I was at home behind my computer. You know, there's computer cyber crimes that take place all the time. And enter the location. Well, I walked into my fucking bedroom. What are you talking about? It just seems too specific it seems too specific of questions to be focused on such a general subject, if that makes sense. Did you commit the crime alone? That's a legit question. Oh, I want to make sure that I didn't miss any of these. Oh no, I actually got that one twice. So yeah, that's all of them. I don't know, but that's pretty chilling stuff, guys. To me anyway. Let me check the Yeah, okay. Looks like we're in agreement, folks. Looks like we're in agreement. 82% of you believe that this guy's going to try to go to trial, that he's going to fight the charges. Very interesting. Yeah, 82% of you guys think that he's not going to plead guilty. Well, JP, I just to elaborate on me agreeing with you. I do agree with you, but more specifically, I'd say that it's not that he knows what he's doing. It's that he's so arrogant to truly believe that he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, sure, but the question is, does he know better than what law enforcement's doing? Does he know better than what the prosecution is going to do? You know what I mean? That's the big issue. Is he arrogant? I think that he thinks that he's smarter than all of them. But yeah, I think, I think this dude is super, super duper arrogant. Absolutely arrogant. Clearly a psychopath. And that's if this is the guy. But I don't think I usually have a pretty good faith in law enforcement investigations that are conducted like this, especially by so many agencies that are coinciding and working together. I think the Quentin Simon case taught us a lot about how that works. Is, it takes a lot of time. You know, I think that they knew who was responsible for Quentin's death. And it was just a question of collecting enough evidence to be able to feel confident to get a conviction. And I think that they probably tracked this guy, you know, who knows? It's probably, it could have been weeks for all we know. But I'd say at least it's been a few days. I'd say at least it's been a week. If I was just spitballing and guessing, I'd say it was probably a week, and they were just making sure that they had everything that they needed to get a conviction. So I'm confident so far that this is the guy, because a lot of it adds up, you know. But I have to admit, even myself, with what it is right now, with what is with what's being presented to us about it, you know, it's incredibly intriguing for me, because I've never heard of a case like this. So yes, the dramatics behind it are very, very intriguing. The fact that he's a criminology major, you know, it made me automatically theorize, you know, the fact that this guy's trying to get a PhD in criminology, and then he does this thing, this study, it made it seem like he was just simply somebody who fancied himself smarter than everybody else and had a desire to kill people and wanted to make sure that he got away with it before he got started to fulfill his big fantasy. But I'm just speculating. We don't have all the facts in yet. Just based on what we do have, which none of it is 100% confirmed yet, keep in mind, but based on what we do have, that's the most logical theory that comes to my mind. Matthew Giannotti, that's a good point. You're saying criminology is very interesting. I hope that this douche doesn't affect how it's taught. I'm thinking, though, here's another side to that coin. If it, in theory, it seems like it would affect it in a positive way. Usually, I mean, with something like crime, and you have criminologists, I mean, the bright side, the silver lining to a horrible, unheard of crime taking place, the silver lining to that is it broadens the possibilities of what to learn in criminology, and therefore will help catch criminals in the grand scheme of things. It'll improve. I might, Amy. I'm not sure. There's going to be so many people doing it. I just wasn't sure who else had the same information that I have. So I felt kind of responsible to go live and talk to you guys about it. Yeah, Team Brittany, they won't. They won't. But I'll just keep doing what I do, you know. You're good, imposter Cherry, but I'm on to you. You're learning how the real Cherry is, but I'm on to you, imposter Cherry. Dude, well, that's one thing I'm not going to do. What I'm not going to do is stay on. If I do this, if I cover the presser, I will go live with it. And if Annie goes live with it, I'm not going live with it. Because, you know, I mean, I wouldn't have the information that I had without Cherry and Imposter Cherry and Annie from 10 to Life. So big shout out to 10 to Life for sharing that stuff with me. And those who help her with the research and everything. I'm really, really grateful to all of those channels that are on next level, and they still manage to believe in little old me and what I'm doing. So yeah, if Annie goes live, then I'll just be in her chat. But I will do a follow-up, and I'll play the presser, but it won't be live. If I don't cover the presser live, I'll do a review of it. Hey, whoa, Saucy 56. Yeah, we don't do that here. Even Imposter Cherry gets respect. You're gonna have to sit this out for a minute. Yeah, even Imposter Cherry gets respect. I never heard that before. We're your top two. We're just so different, though. Like, yeah, I've never been on the top two with Annie. It's flattering. I appreciate it. Yeah, like this doesn't describe it. Yeah, it's more like Annie, me, like, yeah, it's not. Yeah, she's next level. Yeah, that's not Cherry in the chat. That's an evil robot. It's it's an evil robot Cherry, like from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Oh yeah, Chasing Truth is one of my favorites too, man. Totally get you. But that's it as far as what I got on the updates. So we're gonna have to wait for the presser. If Annie goes live, I'll be in the chat, hanging out with you guys. If she doesn't, I might go live. And if I do, then I'll see you guys then. But I'll definitely be going live again before the end of the evening. Before the day is out, I will be going live again. Just not sure if I'll be covering the press conference live. I'm interested. I love this community, and I'm interested in what a lot of the other creators are thinking on this, and getting their perspectives on this. I'm really interested to hear what Duty Ron has to say. Mike King from Profiling Evil, Police Off the Cuff, Ikadmel, so many. Of course, Gray Hughes. So many really, really great true crime creators that I'm really, really interested to hear their perspectives and insights on this latest development. So I am going to wrap this up, guys. I love you guys very, 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 very much. Even you, imposter, evil robot Cherry. I love you guys. We will do this again very soon, my friends.